y'all. We're live. I'm back again. I wonder if any of you guys wonder if I'm going to keep showing up every day. Twice a day at noon and 9. Hi, Grandma. Good to see you. And Sandy and Brooke and Claire. Oh, my goodness. My grandma's even periscoping with me tonight. That is awesome. Hey, Grandma, all the way from California. Sandy from Pennsylvania. That's right. I'm in it to win it. I haven't quit yet. I'm not a quitter. I think people could say a lot about me, but they will never be able to say that I'm a quitter. I don't think in anything in my life. I'm just not. That's not me. I'm not a quitter. So I'm committed to y'all. And if you don't know who I am, I'll introduce myself. I'm Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister. And I love bringing you advice on Periscope twice a day. That's right. It's the goal to bring you Periscopes twice a day at noon and 9. And you can catch the replay. And thank you for all of those who are watching the replay even right now. That's right. I'm solid. Oh, I'm beautiful sometimes. I do my best with what I have to work with. That's for sure. But I am so blessed to just have the opportunity to be here with y'all and to continue to Periscope with you. And I love bringing wisdom to your life. So you guys can check out my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com. And check out past Periscopes. We have been going this week through some essential principles from my mom's book, actually. My mom is Debbie Titus, and her book is called The Home Experience. And it's one of my favorite books, and it's really a textbook and a great resource. So here it is. You can see her name, Debbie Titus. And if you want to get the book, just go to DebbieTitus.com, DebbieTitus.com. Somebody type that in so people can see it. So you can get the book there if you want. It is a great resource of these essential principles. Plus, there is really great recipes in this book. There's great, just lots of home organization tips and wonderful. There you go, DebbieTitus.com. Thanks, y'all. Hi, Sade. I didn't see you. And TrinaTitusLozano.com. Oh, thanks to all my friends that are supportive. And also thanks for the hearts. I see blue hearts and pink hearts and purple hearts and green hearts and all that. Sade, we miss you around here. Hi to everybody in New York. It is great to have you with us now. So I have been going around to my children's homes, and we've been, I've been at their tables and they've been at my table, and we've just been fellowshipping around the table with my children and my grandchildren. Oh, hi, Dominique. Isn't that awesome? You guys are there celebrating with 3 generations in New York and the new baby. So y'all, the home is essential to forming that little heart of that little newborn baby. The home is essential. So as you prepare your home and as you prepare your table and you bring your children and your grandchildren around your table, this is a place where love and peace is shared. And this is where we continue to build our relationships eye to eye and face to face. It's where relationships grow deeper and grow stronger, where we nourish our souls and our hearts and our relationships as well as our physical bodies. So bringing the bread of the presence, Jesus is the bread of life, and bringing the bread of the presence of Jesus at our table at home, it really makes our table like an altar at our house. And that's what it is. And that's the place where you can really restore relationships. Think about the prodigal son. When that relationship needed to be restored, his father greeted him, and what did he do? He prepared a feast for him, and he had dinner with him, y'all. Just a good old-fashioned dinner. And that is a time and a place to restore relationships. Something interesting about my life. I've been married 32 years to the most incredible husband, and we have 4 children, and 3 are married. So now 7 kids and 9 grandkids. And we are so blessed with an incredible family. But there was a time in our life where he had gone through a severe midlife crisis and through a severe depression, and all kinds of attack had come on every side. And he just really kind of went a little bit crazy, and he had made all kinds of bad choices, had an affair, filed for a divorce, and all these things. Well, he was only gone a couple of months, and then he turned his life back to Christ and came back home. But during that time of separation, do y'all know that he still wanted to come home for dinner? And people were wondering, why was I letting him come home for dinner? And I just said, because I'm praying for our marriage to be restored. And I'm praying for this relationship to be restored. And I'm praying for our family to be restored. So I don't want to turn him away. And if he wants to come over for dinner, we're going to set the table, and he knows his place at the table, and he's going to still come and be invited for dinner. So even during the time that we were separated, even after he had filed for divorce, he still came over for dinner. And y'all, I believe that God did a supernatural work at our home in our table when he came over for dinner. And he didn't even know it was happening. But we still would pray over our food. And during that time, I was just taking authority over the deception that he was in and praying healing over that midlife crisis that he was in, so that he could be restored to our family and be restored to the Lord. And he was. And just like the prodigal son was restored to his family, my husband was restored to our family. And I've seen time after time after time after time that relationships and family relationships specifically are restored around the table. So it doesn't have to be a holiday, and it doesn't have to be a special occasion, but any time is an occasion to have a time of restoration around your table. So if there's a relationship in your life, or a family relationship that has been severed or has been broken, y'all plan a time that you can invite these people over for dinner, whether it be a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent or a parent or an in-law or a step-parent or a child. Any of them, invite them for dinner and set a place for them. If you can write their name on a place card, or if you can somehow write their name like I showed you on my table settings, if you need to watch a past Periscope, it's so cool. That's right. God is a God of restoration. And you can read my whole testimony on my website under L is for love. But it's a great testimony of restoration. And y'all, the table has a lot to do with that. And so it's a beautiful thing, even as we've continued to restore our relationships with our family, coming around our table on a regular basis with our family and now our children and our grandchildren and all 18 of us is a time of constant restoration. I was thinking about, as I was growing up, my parents, my mom always fixed dinner, and we always had family meals around our table. And they always invited others. There was always guests. There was always hurting people that were in our lives, because my parents are pastors and they were always ministering to hurting people. So as they would minister to hurting people, my mom would fix dinner for people. She would always make our guests feel honored and feel special. And a lot of times that was because she would have a place for them with their name on it and a place card, and they felt loved and they felt wanted and they felt honored that there was a place. My dad always had a place of honor at our table in our home, and as I was growing up, and he still does, he had his chair that he would always sit in at the head of the table. That's right, Brooke, because you serve them, they feel so honored. But my dad always had the chair, and he was sitting at the head of the table, and my mom had her spot. I had my spot. My little brother had his spot, and then there was the other places that guests would typically sit. But every night after dinner, and it didn't matter if we had guests over or company over, or if it was just the four of us, every night after dinner, my entire life, I would get up and I would go sit on my dad's lap. And, my dad and I were not particularly affectionate any other time. We didn't necessarily give each other a whole lot of affection and attention. We never really went out of our way to give many hugs and kisses. But, we would greet each other hello with a hug or a goodbye, maybe a little kiss on the cheek. But we weren't particularly super affectionate, except for this one time. And every night after dinner, I would go over and I would just sit on my dad's lap for a few minutes, and he would pat me. If you know my dad, he's a patter. He would pat me on the arms, and he would just pat me on the leg, and he would just sit there and pat me for a few minutes. And that would be my time to just sort of cuddle with my dad. And our relationship was so close as a result of really our time of connecting at the table. And now I've got those memories, and my relationship with my dad was always so bonded and so connected. And it was always because of our time after the table, of me sitting on his lap. And yet that's the only time that I ever sat on his lap. I never sat on his lap any other time except for right after dinner. And that's a special memory that we have. In fact, I haven't done that for a long time. So next time I'm at his house, I just probably need to do that just to remind myself of that special memory. But y'all, this is a time where you are connecting, and I've spent this entire week talking about it. So I hope that you guys have been inspired and will continue to make this a priority in your home. I don't know if my question will be inappropriate, but I feel that my relationship with my wife, I don't see the question there. If you have a question about something, I would be happy to answer it. And actually, all day Saturday at noon and 9, I'm answering questions. So every Saturday, I'm answering questions, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister. So I would love to answer your questions on Saturdays. And every Sunday, I'm praying, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your needs, and I'm praying for anything that God puts on our hearts. And that is what I do every Sunday. So Monday through Friday, I give you principles and wisdom for life. Saturdays is Q&A, and Sunday is prayer. So I will be back tomorrow at noon and 9 answering questions. And then next week, I'm talking about vital relationship skills. So relationships with parents and children, relationships with husbands and wives, and any other relationship, dating relationships, in-law relationships, any other relationships that you have. We're talking about those vital relationship skills next week. So I hope that you guys plan to join me on my Periscope next week. Thank you for talking about the table with me this week, and I will see you tomorrow for Q&A, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you some more at noon and 9. God bless you guys, and thanks for joining. Have a good night. Bye.